So this light bulb has failed. It's an LED one, of course, but yeah, it's from Asda, made in China, inevitably. 240 volts, 67 milliamps. So well, I can't work that out in my head. 3000 K color temperature. But the pin has dropped out, or at least there is no pin on either side. There's no hole all the way through, so it's not as if there's a pin that goes all the way through, obviously, unless that's snapped off somehow. But yeah, the light stopped working, and we just sort of touched it, and it dropped out. I have no idea where the pin's gone. Presumably it's on the floor somewhere, but just curious to see how this works. It's got a zinc or aluminium, some sort of die-cast heatsink. It's really heavy and seems quite expensively made. So there's heavy heatsink on the top. But yeah, let's see if I can get into this. Oh, well, that's not ideal, but yeah, looks like a PCB and this sort of potting compound, which is kind of semi-rubbery, but breaks apart quite easily. So you wonder what's in here, how that pin was arranged. There's obviously a bit of wire there. Try and dig this rubber stuff out. Yeah, see the compound there. It's a bit. Well, it's good stuff, I think. Nothing wrong with it. There we go. This black part is now coming out, which is very brittle. And it could be some sort of potting compound or some sort of Bakelite type plastic thermosetting. Oh yeah, starting to come apart. Again, it does seem quite well made, really. It's not a cheap manufacturing design. I'm going to stab myself here. I'm not careful. So there's the black wire we could see coming through to this terminal. And here's the other one from the other terminal. Whoops. Looks like that didn't have any insulation on it, or maybe it's got buried in here. Okay, so there's the thing taken to bits in effect. So yeah, simple pressing as you'd expect. Kind of crimped onto the body of the light. In here, this is almost glass-like. This black plastic, very hard, as opposed to this very rubbery material. But there's no sign of the pin at all, or even where it had gone. I assume the pin was held in by the rubber material and may be located through a hole in this black plastic. It's worth taking this apart. Might as well, having got this far. I'll put it in the vise, see if I can just crack this lens off. Yeah, just nipping that in the vise has broken the die casting slightly and loosened this lens. Ah, it's quite a nice plastic dome and printed circuit board with surface mount LEDs, two little screws. Again, it's quite an expensive manufacturing process. I thought that would just clip together, and obviously the wires going through the other end of the board here. So there's obviously two printed circuit boards. Again, expensive. I say this lovely heatsink. Let's whip those screws out. Not coming very easily. Held up with something that's on the wires, perhaps. Yeah, I think it's the wires that are holding it. So this is obviously, yeah. Of course, this is all gunked in place as well. Like a capacitor there, perhaps. Does seem remarkably over-engineered. Trying to pull this out, there's actually screws underneath here as well. So I'm going to desolder this. Okay, so desoldered, that comes off. Put a heat transfer compound on there. Onto this, not a lot, mind you. It's a bit hit and miss, but better than nothing. And this copper ground plane to transmit the heat as well, I guess. So this will be DC by the time it reaches here. But yeah, these two screws again. And again, so it's very heavy heat sink. Oh yeah, I can feel it coming free on the other side now. So I assumed it would just push through from the back, but evidently not. So 4 screws, big heavy aluminium heatsink, two printed circuit boards, some heat transfer compound, the cap, 2 types of plastic, the black and the this potting compound. There we go, potting compound again. So this whole unit is entirely potted in this rubbery material, which is good. And apart from the pin dropping out, it was still working. So yeah, I'm impressed by that in the sense of a well engineered bit of kit, but it does seem, from a manufacturing point of view, very expensive to make, and a lot of parts for just one light bulb, in effect. Anyway, that's what's inside one of these Asda lights. I haven't solved the problem as to why the pin dropped out, but it obviously did. So yeah, shame. Right. Thanks for watching anyway.